Hey, Bolly.
Yo, DJ, I like your hat, dude.
Oh, cheers, mate. I like your watering can. And your gloves.
Thanks, dude. You want to go ahead and tell our friends why we're so impeccably dressed today?
Well, today's episode is about Jane Loudon, a writer that helped establish the science fiction genre.
And also an influential gardener.
Oh, and the events leading up to her marriage were probably the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Totally. Well, we've only got 5 minutes, so let's get cracking. Boom, let's go.
Jane Loudon was the daughter of a wealthy manufacturer and was born in Birmingham, England in 1807. In case you were wondering, Birmingham was once home to a number of highly influential figures, including Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders, John Cadbury, whose creations include cream eggs and curly whirlies, and TJ, world-famous founder of 5-minute influencers, paleontologist, gamer extraordinaire.
You could stop talking about yourself and just get on with the show.
Sorry, Jane's mother died when she was just 12 years old, and when she was 17, her father died too. He had lost family fortune due to poor business decisions and excessive speculation, and Jane was left alone and penniless. Jane realized that she needed a way to support herself, and she decided to turn to writing.
At the age of 19, she published a book called Prose and Verse, but her major breakthrough came when she was 20 with the publication of The Mummy, A Tale of the 22nd Century. It was inspired by Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and the public unwrapping of mummies in a theater in London. It was one of the first sci-fi novels ever written and was one of the first to completely reimagine the future. Believe it or not, the novel featured steam-powered lawyers, hair ornaments of controlled flame, and what kind of looked like the internet.
She came up with the idea for an internet in the 19th century? What kind of stuff would someone in that era be Googling?
Probably how to live past the age of 40. How to get your hands on more gruel, sir. Either way, while Jane's original motive for writing The Mummy was to make enough money to support herself, it also had the unintended result of attracting a husband.
Jane rises to fame on the success of The Mummy, and with it comes the reviews and the critics. One review in particular is written by John Claudius Loudon, a famous gardener. John was so captivated by Jane's description of a steam-powered lawnmower that he sought out her friendship. However, The Mummy had been published anonymously, so John presumed it had been written by a man. When John discovers that Jane was actually a woman, he becomes even more captivated and promptly proposes marriage. Jane accepts, and, by historical accounts, their marriage was an incredibly successful one.
Seriously, TJ, how many times have I recapped my disastrous dating experiences to you?
Countless.
And this guy finds a wife because she describes a lawnmower in a book? How unfair.
Following her marriage, Jane continues to write. She turns her attention away from reanimated mummies and instead writes about gardening.
After marriage, Jane begins to write more about gardening. She published Practical Instructions in Gardening for Ladies in 1841 to commercial success. Gardening for Ladies was considered ahead of its time as it encouraged women to get their hands dirty and even take on a faint glow of perspiration.
Bolu, we have kids watching this. Maybe talk about other parts of the book instead of 50 Shades of Soil.
The point is the book emphasized that women are able to manage gardening without male supervision. And to prove so, it assumed the readers had no background in gardening and describes the most obvious and mundane actions in the most excruciating of details. Historians credit the book with helping further the cause of feminism in the 19th century.
Alright, Bolu, what are 3 ways that Jane influenced the world?
1, her book on gardening was very instrumental in progressing feminism.
2, she taught us that love can come from the most unexpected places. In her case, it was the creation of a steam-powered lawnmower.
And finally, without her, we wouldn't have had the idea of the reanimated mummy. And with that, we would have missed out on the world's greatest cinematic universe.
The Mummy. The Mummy Returns. The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. The Scorpion King. The Scorpion King 2. The Scorpion King 3. The Scorpion King 2.
Alright, we get the point. We hope you enjoyed our video.
So there's like this like button below, and you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you were so inclined, potentially feel free to click that like button.
No, but click that like button.
Also subscribe, and let us know who you'd like us to cover for our next influencer.
Until next time.
See ya.